So as more and more people are headed back to the office, they have a lot of options when it comes to how to get there. To get an idea of how the transportation industry is preparing for this return to normal, I spoke with Alex Hudson from the Transportation Choices Coalition.
But as we're all getting vaccinated and returning to the resumption of sort of our normal lives, how we get to places is really an important matter. And so obviously the number one trip that'll probably change is our commutes to work. And we knew that before the pandemic that Seattle was actually a nation leading city in terms of transit ridership. So there are 250,000 jobs in downtown Seattle and 35,000 parking spots. So the math alone tells us that our transit system is going to need to continue to be a really important part of how people get to and from, certainly to work, but also increasingly, to visit friends and family, to school, to grocery stores, all the places that people go.
Are you predicting at all maybe a dip in ridership as more and more people are able to work from home now that companies realize that it can be effective? I mean, do you think that it'll go back to normal or you'll see, slightly decreased levels?
I think what we're going to see is as a change in the system. So we used to have transit systems that were really oriented around peak commutes, but we know, and that was Monday through Friday, 7 to 9, and then 3 to 6. But folks' work schedules aren't really going to look like that anymore. So maybe as people are working from home some days and the office some days, they're coming in later or leaving earlier, what we're going to see is transit systems that have more of a flattening there. And that's actually going to be a benefit for everyone because we're able to take all of those service hours that were in the peaks and redistribute them across the entirety of the service network. So people who want to be able to take the bus to their doctor's appointments in the middle of the day are going to find that those buses are still there for them and maybe even more frequent than they were before. Will it take a little while for people to feel comfortable getting back on transit? Absolutely. There's a lot of things that used to feel second nature that are kind of take a while to get used to again. But what we know is that transit is safe. And that the transit systems have continued to make sure that they're putting riders' safety first and that they're keeping their networks whole. So the whole goal is that the service is there for folks when they're ready to get back on the bus.
What about light rail? I know that's really been expanding a lot. Has that been affected by the pandemic at all?
I'm so grateful to you for bringing this up because the reduced ridership that we've seen is not the same across the board. So there are agencies like Sound Transit who does light rail. That's a commuter-based system. And so as folks are doing less commuting, they've seen steeper declines than, say, King County Metro's bus system. But even across the routes, you can look at routes that serve like the F line. They've only had a 7% dip in ridership. But there are other routes that connect like downtown Bellevue to downtown Seattle, for example, 80% decline. So the ridership is really what we're learning is like, who are the people who really count on transit? Because I'll remind folks, King County Metro is doing 140,000 trips every single day and has been throughout this pandemic. Sound Transit has been affected, of course, by ridership declines, but things are, there's a lot to look forward to along light rail. October 2nd, there's opening 3 new light rail stations here in Seattle, all the way up to Northgate Mall. And that is really kicking off what I call the Cambrian explosion or this golden age of light rail, where Sound Transit is going to open 28 new light rail stations in the next 3 years. You are going to be able to get all the way from Linwood to Federal Way, downtown Seattle to downtown Redmond, just in the next 3 years.
I live kind of between Northgate and Soto, where our studios are. I would actually rather take the light rail to Northgate and then back again and then drive home than drive out to Northgate in my car and deal with the freeway. So that's amazing. Beyond the pandemic, what should the future of transportation look like in our region?
I think we all have the right to have options about where we want to go that are affordable, that are accessible, that are convenient, and most importantly, that are reliant. So I would love to see that, this continued expansion of light rail. And I think that we could really benefit from more expansion mindset like that in our bus network. As I said, hundreds of thousands of people pre-pandemic, 400,000 people got around on just King County Metro. I'll just leave with one thing. In Washington is estimated that almost 25% of people can't or don't drive, either through age, mobility, financial, having a car. AAA says it costs $10,000 in the state of Washington to own, maintain, and insure a vehicle. And that's just not money that everybody has. So there are 25% of people in this state who can't or don't drive. And so we need to make sure that we have a transportation system that meets everybody's needs so that we can all get where we want to go.
$10,000. Hey, babe, we're selling our car.
So every June, TCC celebrates Ride Transit Month, and this year's theme is A Just Recovery Will Take Transit. So to learn more about their virtual events, just visit the New Day website.